Being a professional photographer, I photographed plenty of children over my years, and I have come across the odd child every now and again who is quite camera shy. And I find it's because sometimes there may be a bunch of different reasons, but mainly it's because they've had their photo taken so many times, or every time they have their photo taken, they're told to say cheese or smile and look at the camera. So how can we avoid this, yet still get great images? And in this week's episode, we use the technique of stepping back and observing the play that our children have, and only taking pictures when there's a great shot, and not continually making it all about the photography. We've headed down to the beach this morning for some coffee, and we're going to take some pictures. It's a beautiful day. We got the dog with us. It's absolutely gorgeous. We all watch our children to see how they're behaving and make sure they're being safe. But do you ever just stop and truly observe their behaviour, how they build relationships and interact with other children? All the technique in the world cannot compensate for the ability to see. This is one of my favourite quotes, and it's by the famous Magnum photographer from America, Elliot Erwitt. I think about this quote all the time when I'm taking pictures. We're dealing with people and emotions in our portraiture, and if it means breaking the odd rule and technique every now and again to capture the moment, then go for it. This is what will separate you as a creative. I was just hanging back on these rocks, like a few meters away from the kids taking pictures, and I just noticed Emily in the background. She was kind of a little bit disgusted by the little toddlers, you know, the way they were getting so saturated and dirty, and she went and sat up on the rock, and her expression as she looked over at their antics was just priceless. And I guess this is where that quote comes in, you know, you have to notice. And I just noticed what she was doing, and I hung back and took a few pictures of her. And then she kind of stepped away and went and played with Bobby a little bit. So capturing her in her little world, and then the little ones in their little world, I mean, it just takes that observation to notice what's happening and then to capture it. Instead of trying to force them all together in a picture, capture what they're doing themselves. This beautiful moment between mother and daughter has been captured whilst observing, and wouldn't have the same expression if I had have posed and directed and had a bit more influence on this picture. Do you have one of these children who are quite camera shy, and whenever you take the camera out to get a photo, they're kind of either pulling funny faces or they're just completely not interested? Try this technique with them, and you may find they won't even realise that you're taking pictures anymore, and they'll start just being a bit more normal and ignore the camera and not make such a big deal out of having a photo. When taking this approach to images of observing your subject and capturing what happens naturally, just make sure you have your camera settings ready, or make sure it's even on. It could be in your hands or in your lap, and be back far enough away from your subject that they just don't even know you're there and you're quite unobtrusive.